Why are both of us is dancing?
Like, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
We are here. The woman, the visionary. Girl, listen, first and foremost, thank you for bringing all those ladies, including yourself, to Life Her podcast. I really appreciate it so much, and it's been a great experience.
Oh, no, thank you. Seriously, like, thank you so much for even allowing us to have the opportunity to be on Life Her podcast. Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead, Life Her podcast. All right.
Yes.
We just came on, so okay, I'm gonna be good.
You know you'll know what be good, man.
Yes, we're about to get it, y'all. I'm trying to see how I can share it out.
You should sure enough see the share link. I hear a double, so you got it.
You hear it?
I did when you first probably clicked on it.
Oh, okay.
Come on, y'all. We need y'all logging in.
Yes, y'all got to come on in here.
Yes, definitely.
Come
Hey,
on.
ladies, see y'all logging in.
We cutting up already, okay? So
we definitely are. They don't even know what's to come right now.
Oh,
yes.
I'm excited to be here tonight with you. Thank you. Having No More Residue.
Girl, how do you feel?
I feel good. I feel so excited, and I mean, dreams do come true, and I feel really good about the book, about everything, about the movement, just everything. I just feel really good about this time that we're in. We showing up. We showing up. Like, listen, I don't know nothing about no pandemic. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I mean, I feel about it because of the people, but I don't care about it in a way where it's going to stop nothing. So, I'm just really excited about what God has for us right now in this season, and you included. That's right, because you're part of the family now. So what's up?
Girl, yes. I was like, I gotta be some big sisters and all that now.
So, yes, all right. I'm going to be good for 2 seconds.
Yeah, seriously. So what was the inspiration for you to even come about with No More Residue?
All right. So No More Residue actually is a spinoff of Rise Up in Hope, which is my new book, my revised book that I just put out actually like the week before. It's a spinoff. It was birthed out of that. This assignment was given to me. Let me just tell you, this assignment was given to me for 2 reasons. One, because, when the Lord had told me that he wanted me to do this project, it was because there was a problem with anthologies, okay? Mm-hmm. So, whenever God gives you an assignment, there's always a problem somewhere within that assignment that you are responsible to go out and fix and solve. So with the anthology, the process, for some of them, I'm not going to say for all of them, but those that I had experienced and others that some of the co-authors that's in here, they'll tell you the process is broken. It's not really for the co-authors, which I like to call them investors, because they're making an investment in themselves and in their business and, their life. So I florid the second time around, I was actually in the anthology, because the first time I was in it, it was like the fee wasn't too, it was really small. Okay, let me just say that. The fee was really small. it was like, okay, it was doable. But when I did it again and saw the investment that I made, I noticed that um, people were not really getting their money back. And it was because of the process. Now, I never speak against the visionary, because even when God told me to do the clarion call for those to come and be a part of the anthology, I make it very clear. And I just want to put that out here right now, even on your podcast. I'm never coming up against the visionaries. I'm coming up against the process of the anthology, that some of them, not all of them, because, some of them do go through major publishing companies to put their anthologies out. So of course they're going to get pretty much everything that I gave those the co-authors in here, and for me to be doing it on a smaller scale, but yet it's still big. Okay, so he gave it to me because it was a problem within that. So, and the second reason was because I have been doing I've been doing women empowerment for over now 13 years, about 13, 14 years. Okay, so this is not new for me. I'm just new to the internet. You know how we said in the physical, God just said, now bring everything that you're doing from the physical into the internet space, so I could connect with more people, because when he transferred me down to Wilmington, North Carolina. So I got it for two reasons. It's not just for one. It was because of the process is broken. Some processes are not beneficial for those co-authors that actually sign in and take advantage of these kind of investments, and they don't get their money back. And then also to help other women, find their voice, share their voice, and help them with their mission and their desires, to write a book, to share their story and to come out of hiding as well. So, I got it for those two reasons as well.
Wow. So, what was the greatest obstacle in executing your vision?
The greatest obstacle?
Yes.
Well, to be honest with you, it's like a duel. It's not just one. So I would have to put it together. One of the greatest obstacles was actually coming up against the process, because I'm coming up against a process where other people that's in the industry, I know them. And once I started to see that process, it was like, do you understand what you're getting ready to do? You're getting ready to expose something that people have been doing and making money in a certain way for a very long time. And actually, the night that I finally did the clarion call, I'm going to call it the clarion call, when the Lord said, okay, it's time for you to go on Facebook and actually, now put it out there that you are going to do this anthology. I had already got some feedback that, listen, you know what, there's a lot of people that's in the space that doing exactly what you're coming up against. Yeah. And that was the obstacle for me. One of the greatest obstacles was for me to look past that and to do what Father told me to do, Father's business. Then the other obstacle I want to talk about is the process working with people. People to get the book, produced. It's like, that was a little bit of challenging, other people, because now you are relying on other people to help you manifest this thing. And to be honest with you, it was some disappointment there, because some people did not fulfill their obligation. So during the course of me creating the book, I had to now seek out assistance from somewhere else, than the people that originally started with me. So it was like, wow, I was so blown away, because, here it is. I'm thinking these women, people that's with me, they're down for the cause and they're here to help me. And I'm paying you. I'm paying you at that. I didn't do anything free. Nobody did anything free. And just to witness that, it was like, oh my goodness. The third thing for me was another obstacle, or, I already knew it, is working with the co-authors, to be honest with you. Yeah. Working with them. Because here's the thing, when you are dealing with spiritual and mindset, it, that's a whole different ball game
Yes,
altogether. And that right there is something that you got to be built for this. Okay,
you
you
do.
have to be built for this. So God
Do.
had already been doing what He needed to do in me to get this done.
Wow. So where did you gain that spiritual strength from for you to actually continue to help these women daily to bring out their gifts, and not only that, bring out them to remove that residue?
I got it from the Lord. That's just real talk. Okay. Um, I'm a woman of prayer. I'm a woman of fasting. I've been doing this before, No More Residue, and all of them, well, not if all of them, because I've really met some of them since I did the book launch. I mean, since I solicited to do the anthology. So some of them I never met before, but I've been doing praying and fasting for some years, and I actually teach it because I used to do, which I'm going to start back up as midnight ministry. So I would teach women how to fast and pray and build their relationship with God. And then also, I do have a great circle of women for myself that are godly women. And when it comes time for us to get down in the trenches and pray and roll up our sleeves and do what we need to do, we do it. So I just love that I have that support as well. My circle is exactly what it needs to be because we keep it real, and I know that when it's time for me to pray, and if I go to them, they're going to lift me up. They're going to hold my arms up and they're going to help me through it. So, yeah.
Yes,
Mm.
yes. Years ago, for many years until last year, I mentored young girls.
Mm.
And I know when you're mentoring people, when you're trying to help them see things past their past life,
Mm.
and you're trying to help them heal, you're trying to help them get through so many things. What was it like battling with the devil because he knew you were helping these women? Because sometimes he'd get in your way.
Well, let me just tell you, one thing I recognized was the spirit that was trying to come up against the project was a spirit of orphan, the orphan spirit. And the orphan spirit, if people don't know, is a spirit of rejection. Okay. It's a spirit of condemnation and guilt and betrayal and lack of trust. So that was the spirit in doubt. That was the spirit that was manifesting along the way, as we started to progress and do the assignment. But, I lean on the Holy Spirit for everything. I lean on the Holy Spirit. And that's the way I even come and deliver and do my sessions and work them through, to help them out. I'm always, leaning on the Holy Spirit. I will even, let me tell you right now, even if you tell me to stop this broadcast, I will do it if you tell me because I'm in partnership with God. I'm not in partnership with man. So when I'm in partnership with God, I'm going to do it God's way.
Wow. So when did you realize that you wanted to publish a visionary book with women?
Well, you know what? That's a good question because I had published my first book, Rise Up and Hope, back in 2018. And there was a young lady that actually came to me that she had already started doing her anthology. And she asked me to push it through my company. And I was a little hesitant about it because I was like, what? Like, that was a little weird. Like, why do you want me to push it through? But I prayed about it and I heard the Spirit of the Lord tell me yes, that I could do it. And so that was the first time that it was actually, I was introduced to bringing through an anthology. Now, No More Residue. Let me just back up a little bit. No More Residue back in 2017 or 2018, I went to a conference and a young lady did approach me and asked me to be in her anthology. No More Residue. I put it in her anthology. This is gonna bless somebody tonight. I actually wrote No More Residue in her story, in her anthology, but it was not supposed to be there. God shut her whole anthology down. She couldn't produce it or anything.
Wow.
So He was telling me that story was never meant to be in there, and I had it in the wrong place. And this is why, you know, you really want to seek God for direction and what it is that you're supposed to be doing. So when he showed me that, she shut it down. She actually gave it to me. She said, Crystal, I want to give you the anthology. This is the second person that came to me and said, I want you to take over the anthology. Just take it over. I already paid everything. I got everything's already done. Go ahead. I had a vision for it. I was like, okay, crying. And it was like, no, this is not the right place for it. So I pulled back. Through that, me pulling back, and then he started to show me that No More Residue had its own anthology. It was supposed to be for these women that have signed up. And how I know, before I even put it out there, I was teaching a course called The Shift at the time in Crystallize Your Vision.
Wow.
And I have been asking God, what did he want me to do with the women that he keeps showing me? Like, besides ministering to them and teaching them how to fast, I kept hearing that you are to take, like Joshua, this 12 tribe of people over and cross them over into their inheritance. Give them bring them over into the space, into the land that he was calling them. Like, listen, y'all, this is real. This is real. And I was so like, I'm just me and God just have like a real authentic relationship. I said, look at here, Joshua took them people into the land, like literally into the land. I know you ain't gonna have me pack these people up and take them somewhere. Where you want me to take these people? And through a much prayer and fasting, I had heard it. It was through the vehicle of an anthology. Now, one of the young ladies, which April, that's in here, and I'm just going to call her out because I know she wouldn't mind. She actually had already. She just inboxed me one day. And she said, "I'm going into." I had not even put it out there. She said, "I heard the Lord tell me," and that was confirmation of what I needed to do. And then I went on and did exactly what He told me to do.
Man, that's powerful.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
You are in alignment with God.
Yeah, like seriously, some people are still in the process trying to get fully aligned with him. And some people have a different gift, but they still know that alignment. But for you to have that was your coverings throughout this whole assignment.
Yes. Yes.
Literally, you already knew your direction. You knew when to stop. You knew when to go. You know when to sleep. You know when to do everything.
Well, because I'm sensitive to the Holy Spirit, and I was describing it to the ladies like maybe a couple of weeks ago. I said it's like I'm sensitive to the Holy Spirit. Where my niece, I'm going to speak for my oldest niece, she's allergic to nuts, right? So she has allergies where if she's around it, if she touches it or anything, we literally have to give her a shot to help her to protect her. Her throat will close up on her. Her tongue will get, enlarged, and then she can't breathe. And it's because she's sensitive to the nuts. And I am that way with the Holy Spirit, that I'm so sensitive that it's like an allergic reaction that when he's speaking to me, I just pick up on him. It's because I have been I've been really intentional about fasting and praying for the last 5 years. This is my lifestyle now. This is not something I do because it's the new year and it's the vision thing. It's the new thing. No, this is Crystal's life. This is what I do. I turn down my plate pretty much, every month, sometimes 2 and 3 times a month if he tells me to do it. And by doing that, I've sharpened my ear gate to him. My spirit is so in tune with him that I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna try to act like I'm sitting here perfect or anything like that, because sometimes I ignore it and be like, no, I don't really know that is that really what you want me to do? But I'm very sensitive to the Spirit of the Lord, and He knows how to arrest me and get my attention.
Wow. So taking us down to ground zero, since you are like aligned with God and everything, what was your state of mind when you knew that you had to say yes to the assignment of the book?
Because I was in a transition, I had just left corporate after 20 years. I left Rice and Wireless. on March 22nd, 2019. And I got the assignment literally early in February. So I was going through my own transition and I was like, I ain't got time for all of this. Like, look at it. I moved to a new state. I moved from North Carolina, packed up my whole entire house, gave away everything, everything. I had a 2 bedroom townhouse. I literally gave everything to neighbors. People just came and got stuff. The only thing that I could bring here in Georgia with me was the clothes and books that could fit in my car. I walked away from 20 years of belongings because well, for me, I started getting clean 20 years ago. And all of these things I had accumulated, I had to let them go because they couldn't come with me. And I was in a transition because I was staying in someone's house. I was staying in my girlfriend's house, sleeping in her room, her spare room that God told her to create for me, to make available for me because he knew he was going to bring me here. So, here it is. I'm going through my transition and I'm trying to find my own way. And I just left corporate after 20 years and left my family again. My daughter had to stay in North Carolina. She's, an adult, but still, and then come to like this foreign place. And now you want me to help some women while I'm trying to get myself together. But little did I know that all of these years I had already been prepared to do exactly what I've done tonight and up until this point and get ready to do even more. So really, to be honest with you, it was a transition. It was a little challenging because I was going through my own transition, and then finally moved into my own place, got my own office, got my own everything, and want back everything that I gave up and more, and it's going to give me more on top of it. So yeah.
Yes, it's just a process. So uh, they say that women can't work together. Women are, you know, they always start in drama, or I can't be friends with this woman or that woman. How was it with you working with so many women and you guys made it to this point? Because sometimes people don't come, they don't make it completely.
Mhm.
So how does that feel that you guys made it to that point, and what did you do to even get here today?
Well, to be honest with you, I had already once I knew I was going to take on the assignment, I started to look at I needed to put some structure together. I needed to map out this vision because I'm all about vision. I started women empowerment with vision. So I know what that means is that when God gives you the vision, he'll give you the beginning and he'll give you the end. And you have to trust him for in the middle part to get the middle. So once he had already approved me and said, I approve you for this assignment, this is yours, I just started putting together the structure for them. And I did something that was different from even what most of the co-authors in here will tell you. Some of them have already been in anthologies, but for me, I do what I didn't get. I didn't get support.
Yeah.
I didn't get somebody that will actually support me and help me and push me along the way. I remember, and just back up just a little bit, is um, when I started getting clean 20 years ago, I had a sponsor. I had her for about 6 months, and she was the bomb.com. But then after that, we went our ways because my schedule changed and things just changed within the dynamics of my life, and I stopped going to AA meetings, and that stopped. But what I realized prior to that, what was it that Crystal was missing when she was coming up? What was it that I didn't get in my early adulthood? What was it? How did the enemy grab a hold of me? What was that thing? And for me, it was the lack of support. It was the lack of the communication within my family that I could really be honest with them and tell them really what was going on in my marriage and in this relationship that I was having, that my husband was a dope addict. And, I didn't know nothing about that. Here it is. I'm being subjected to all of this nonsense. So I looked at like, what I do right now, and even in my coaching business, and this is just a component of what I do for Christmas Care Communications and Consulting. I do what I didn't get. What I didn't get, which was support, I didn't get the service, I didn't get the serving, and I went to many people. I went even working at this Fortune 500 company. I went to my leaders and I asked them to mentor me. There were certain leaders that I went to and I would ask them. And what really, I guess for me was a little heartbreaking. It was sisters. It was another sister that turned me down.
Yes.
That didn't support me. That I was so blown away. And I was like, wow, like, I'm thinking you're in a leadership position. Here it is, this young woman like myself, this young sister, she's coming to me. She wants to, improve herself, go to the next level, thinking that you're going to help me. No, that ain't what happened. The homegirl just turned her back on me and was like, boom. So I had to do a lot of this by myself and thank God to reading books and, at the time, videos, YouTube and things like that.
Yes.
And my friends and, that I had started having in my circle. So for me, to working with them, I gave them what I didn't get. So I put together a schedule where I was like, listen, nothing's going to stop us. I had weekly sessions with them. Sometimes I would show up 2 and 3 times in the group. A lot of prayer, a lot of fasting. And when it came to them actually giving you the story that y'all are going to be reading, like, this is my rock bottom, if the walls could talk, a secret relationship with lust, addicted to the unknown, the healing job, the courage to speak, it's my anniversary, no ordinary first lady, I do but never again, unveiling Pandora's box, from prison to the palace, sweet nothing stuck in the bottle, the party that broke me, a seat at the table, the coldest room ever, the fall. Guess what? I went in there and got them.
Girl,
those stories out of them.
You was just flowing right there.
I got them stories out of them. As a visionary and as a spiritual midwife that I am, I had to go in there and get them. And when I say go in, I mean literally like do surgery. I made it so that these group of women were confident and feeling comfortable within me and could trust me and allow me to do surgery with them. And we did it together. It was, the thing was, I'm sorry.
Girl, I'm over here like I'm in church. Okay.
So what happened was, before any of them really came aboard, besides the clients that I had in Crystallize Your Vision, I do intakes. I do discovery sessions. I make sure, listen here, you're a good fit. So, we have a call or whatever. So when they all came together, which we were all in a group, and I sat with them for like 2 and 3 and 4 hours. I mean, pouring into them, extracting those stories. I gave half of them, at least 95% of these stories, I gave them the titles. Because that was the story that God wanted. They wanted to give me some fluff. And he said, that ain't it. Don't accept that from them, because that's not the story. That's not the story I want. And they know that. So when I hear from him, I got to keep probing. I got to keep doing the work that I have to do to get the thing up out of them. See, you got to be anointed. Let me just help some of y'all in here that might even try to copy this. You got to have the gift of this.
Girl, yeah.
Duplicate nothing that you ain't been called to. I'm going to tell you that right now on Life Her Podcast.
Yes.
Okay. I'll tell you right now.
It's the truth. It's the truth, though. Some people think they could just duplicate off the things that you did. You could tell them everything that you did. You could train them everything that you know. But at the end of the day, they will never have nothing exactly like yours, because God didn't give them that gift. He gave it to you.
Exactly.
And they have to notice that. They're not Crystal. They're not Yvette. They're not none of the women that's a part of No More Residue.
No.
They have to, they won't understand that until they start understanding themselves.
Exactly. So when it came time to actually go get those stories, those was the defining moments that God wanted. Because even with my story, with in Rise Up and Hope, because that's why he made me go back and revise the book, because he was like, I want you to write the same story that you have in them write for yourself. And you're the leader, so you got to lead first. And you have to share that story 20 years ago. That was that defining moment for you. That where you made the decision to change your life and shift your life and move it in a different direction. And so no more residue. One of the things when you asked me about like some of the things, the opposition, well, as we were getting closer and working with women, yes, the fear, the doubt, the insecurity, all of that stuff started rising up. But one thing I'm big about, and they can all tell you, I'm big about when you work with me, I equip you. What does that mean, Crystal? It means that I'm going to tell you the realness. Because when we first started the project, I had already forewarned them that as you know, you're excited now, you're getting ready to be an author, write the book, and all the rest of that.
Yep.
But as we go through the process, that's where the work begins. And guess what? That's where that's where you're going to really see why you need me, why you need the accountability, why I am here for you. Because if you could do this on your own, you would have been did it. But God knows that I am just the vessel that's going to help you push that thing out and get to the place that you need to be. So it was a lot of that. Yes, like they said, can we work together? We can, but yeah, there's some. You know what? I said to the Lord earlier today, I said, Lord, we had a little discussion about this little segment right here. And I'm just going to be honest with y'all. There was definitely moments where it was some resistance and some people that are not, that was being, the rebellious spirit was there.
Yeah.
The jealousy spirit did rise up, that envy and strife was there. But let me tell you something. One thing about me, like I said, I go on my face. And then I love it that I have some praying women in here with me that we also, started to see. And then now you got to do is you got to acknowledge it and you got to bombard heaven. You don't stop doing what you're supposed to do. See, this is how I know when people tell me, oh, God called me to it. Well, anytime you give up in the middle of a mission, then I know you ain't really been called to it. Because I don't care what's going on. And there was plenty of days that there was just a lot of things that just wasn't maybe running as smooth as I would have liked it or whatever. But you don't just say, okay, this ain't going right today, so I'm gonna just go ahead and throw up my hands and y'all gonna be on your own and we ain't gonna finish the project. No, you take a break, you go get you some rest.
Yes.
You do what you need to do, and you come back to the drawing board. And don't forget what the purpose is. Don't forget what you said that God called you to. See, this is when you know when did God call you to it, or was it you calling you to it?
That's true. That's true. It's a huge difference.
A huge difference. Because if God is calling you to it, and like Philippians 4:13 says, what does it say? I can do all things through Christ.
Right.
So I don't care who's coming up against me. I don't care what coming up against me. He said, keep going. Every day, keep showing up. Keep giving to them. Keep loving on them. Keep encouraging them. Keep, doing everything that you're supposed to be doing. In this anthology, let me just break it down for some of y'all that don't know. Can I just run it down for y'all tonight? Can I give you the rundown of the rundown?
The rundown of the rundown of the rundown.
Can I give you the rundown? Because see, I want you to know how special these women, and myself included, that God set them up for total success. With an anthology, let me just back up just for a second. With some traditional anthology, normally it's 6 months. What do? They tell you what the topic is going to be, what the title of the book is going to be, what they're probably looking for a little bit, within your story, and they send you on your way. Go write. There's never the interaction where they're helping you get that story out and pull it out of there, right? Okay. In addition to that, it's like you have these meetings or whatever, maybe conference calls or whatever. You do get some resources in here. You might, after the launch, you have this big book signing. Some people, I have about 7 co-authors in here right now that's been in other anthologies. They've never got a book even to this day. They never received their own books.
What?
They never got marketing material.
What?
Mm-hmm. Yes. So when I tell y'all it was a defect in this process, when I started talking to them, I didn't know that part. I was like, "Are you serious? Like you didn't get your books?
So they
You
were scarred. They was
yes.
they
These
was
women are
like,
scarred.
just imagine you coming in and you having, you know, it's like that blockage there. You like, I don't know if I should really do this with Crystal or not. And then it's like you had to keep your realness there. You had to keep God within you, surrounding you, and keeping it in them for them to even understand the mission that He gave you.
Exactly.
Because I'll tell you one thing, y'all is killing social media. I'm telling you, it's not a day, it's not an hour, it's not a minute that go by. I do not see nothing of No More Residue.
And that's exactly how it should be.
Seriously, I'm talking about Instagram and Facebook. I'm
Honey,
telling you, and everybody just be on point, Johnny on the spot. And I think the biggest thing that I really love is how you guys tag each other and support each other.
mm-hmm.
You know, some people just don't have that type of mindset because they be so selfish and they want the spotlight, but at the same time everybody getting the spotlight, everybody's shining together, and that's what makes the whole No More Residue look so amazing. And you know, there's just, if people really had that mindset and really just see that, like, wow, at the end of the day these women is working.
Yeah, they definitely are. And like I said, this project is I'm a servant leader. Okay. As you see, I'm the last one doing your podcast. I'm the last one that's going to do everything because it's really about them. And when we say that we've been called to serve God's people, then you are to serve them. And
Yeah.
that's what I wanted to provide. I think of it like when I go to a restaurant, I like going to the top restaurants. Seriously, I go to 5-star restaurants, 4 stars restaurants. And that type of service that I'm getting from those restaurants is the same type of service that I want to give out to my clients, to those that God called me to serve. So I made sure, when God started talking to me and giving me the wisdom, because I couldn't do this without God's wisdom. I did this, and everything that you're seeing now with the marketing and everything, that's God's wisdom of Him showing me of how to do it and do it differently so they can succeed. Right now,
Mm-hmm.
we almost at like 300 and something books being sold. They all have goals that they are making. You know what I'm saying? I just want to run down. Do you mind if I just run down the list? Because I need some of your viewers to hear what they got and how God wants you to succeed in such a way that when you get with someone like myself, because when you get with someone like me, how you won't want for nothing because he literally has put everything in a package for you to have everything right there. So you don't have to go all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So they got blueprint God, they got a signature story, they got signature talk, so they know who their ideal client is. Some of them, didn't have like their bios and stuff like that. They wound up getting their bios done, their professional headshots done. They got life and business coaching, personal development, work sessions where I had work sessions where they would come and do the writing, okay, and content creation for the magazines that they in, because they're not just on podcasts, they're in magazines as
Yes, they
well. Not
are.
just one, but in two. Okay. Personalized
On the front.
brochure. They got the graphics, 10 graphics, they got email sequences, they got social media posting. They got social media auditing. I went through that social media to make sure that everything was okay. I told them how I scripted out Facebook and IG, to help them out. They actually sat up there and wrote some of their content out. I got something called secret content, so y'all don't know nothing about that. But anyway, they got the spiritual guidance that they needed. We prayed. I prayed on every session. fasting and prayer, went over their spiritual gifts, the accountability, bonus opportunities such as magazines, being in a podcast, outside sales training, online course creation. Do you know they have, if they wanted to, some of them, about 12 of them opted in, they are going to have a course that goes along with their story. I'm sorry. Where you getting that at?
Crickets.
Oh, okay. I didn't think
Nowhere.
But these are downloads that God gave me to set them up for success.
Yes.
And to be, like the word says, to separate us, to know the distinction. In Exodus, he says, you're going to know my people. There is going to be a distinction. You are going to know who they are. And trust me, when we came out the gate with No More Residue, I got text messages that, can you help me with my marketing? Because the way y'all came out, y'all have been killing it. And guess what? We still only 3 weeks into it. And they still got more to go.
I know. Y'all got so much more. The books ain't even out yet.
Thank you.
It is not in anybody's hand.
Come on, ladies.
So like the overflow now, it's gonna be overwhelmed. It's gonna feel good. It's just like a whole bunch of blessings. You just be like, oh. Oh. It just makes you just so excited, and you just have that anticipation, like, oh, it's coming. Y'all ain't seen nothing yet. Y'all can say you ain't seen nothing yet so many times. It's just gonna be something. They like, you always keep saying that. I'm like, cause you ain't seen nothing yet.
You ain't seen nothing yet. These ladies is rocking it out. And what I do love, and of course, like, let me just say this, just so everybody can hear it come out of my mouth. No matter what we do, there's always going to be the opposition. Let's not kid ourselves. Okay. Yeah. But it's how you handle the opposition. Okay. And one thing that I believe that God had gifted me with was making their environment such a place of trust, and where they built their own sisterhood. They're in there together, helping each other. You understand what I'm saying? So, and I'm talking about really, really, really helping each other.
Yes.
So of course you're going to have one or two that maybe not, or whatever the case may be. And that's fine. They're just not there right this moment. Or, but here's the thing, what, to be honest with you, a lot of the ladies in here, they have been under attack, but we've been praying each other through, families and stuff like that. So I don't, I don't want anyone to get anything wrong, but there's always going to be something. But it's how you through. It's the push through. You gotta see the vision all the way through. I've never been a person where I'm a halfway do anything. Even when I was in the street, either we gonna go all the way out, or we ain't gonna do this at all.
No.
So change because I came over here in this lane.
No.
Ain't that change?
Stay over there.
For real. And I got me some mighty women up in here that, you know what, they've been in the trenches too. So you know what? I was like, look at here, act like how you was when you was out there. Bring that same bulldog, pit bull attitude over here. And see, that's what you got to do. You got to get that pit bull. You got to get that bulldog attitude, Holy Ghost, and be like, devil, you ain't stopping nothing up in here.
Yes. Yes.
I'm gonna shut you down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shut you down. You know what I'm saying? So no. We not. See, that's the thing that I need for believers. I'm like, no, we're supposed to be showing up like exactly that. Taking the lead. As he said, we're the head and not the tail. We're above and not beneath. I am a lender and not a borrower. You better understand who you're working with when you work with me.
Yeah.
You better understand who you come up against when you come up against No More Residue. Because trust me, we got 17 strong and more to come.
A whole lot more to come.
More to come.
Yeah, I'm one of them.
Yes. See, we recruit along the way.
Yeah.
Come on, recruit them. Come on. That's what we want. We want you in the family.
Yes. So could you tell me what residue did you have to remove?
Ooh, Jesus. I had the residue of shame and condemnation. Like that thing was heavy on me. I used to run from people literally. Like when I would come outside, I wouldn't come out unless it was around certain times of the day. I would, go in a different direction. Um, I really had to let go of that rejection,
Wow.
that abandonment, because see, my husband had walked out on me and my son when he was only 2 months old, and I had only been married a year.
Wow.
Talking about rejection, you're talking about guilt of making that decision to go off with this man, and then this is what I experienced, and here it is. I wind up, um, getting involved in drugs, and women I was selling it. Next thing you know, I was using it. Homeless, abuse, domestic violence. I had never been in a relationship like that before in my life. Never experienced nobody ever putting their hands on me like that. I was so walking around with so much shame. My family didn't know what was going on. I stayed away from them for like sometimes almost a year, months at a time. They never saw me. So my residue was definitely that, making that decision. When I made that decision at 16 to run away from home, that was the residue that I had to let go. That my past, that decision did not define me. It did not say this is Crystal. When I really looked in the mirror that day, and I hear a lot of people say that, but let me just say from my story, um, I literally was on a 4-day binge, and when I went to the bathroom and I went to get up, I stood up because the towel was in front of it, but I stood up in front of the mirror, and I was getting ready to go back out, and I literally was looking in the mirror, and I heard, I heard the whisper, "There's more to your life." And then I started asking inside of the mirror, "Where's Crystal? What happened to her? Where is she? Where is that woman? Where is this young lady?" Because I was on that run for over almost 13 years, from 16 to almost 28. I have been out in the street.
Wow. And look where you at
Yeah,
now.
this
Look
is
where
all God, y'all. This is all God.
Yeah, seriously. It's like the things you've been through, you're able to teach other women so many things off the things that you saw. And that's where that transition come in at, with women of understanding that. Be like, it's not me, it's who I used to be, and it's God that has me teaching you the opposite direction on how I got through things, on how I healed. And
Yeah,
that's exactly, you just have a full anointing on you.
yeah.
Full.
Me too.
Oh, that is amazing. Well, what do you want the readers to walk away with?
Um, there's a couple of things I want to say, and I just want to back up, and I do apologize because me and Yvette was already into it. So I am a speaker, a coach, an author, and a creator. Okay, a creator. I am a creator. Some things I want to say to you right now: stop running. Stop running. I was a runner, and I ran for all of those years until one day I just got tired of running, and I wind up facing everything and owning my decision, owning my story, owning that experience. You can change the narrative at any time. And how do you change it? With one decision and moving in another direction. What else I want to tell you right now is that it's time for you to get your voice back, because I lost my voice. I lost my identity. I didn't know who I was because I was in hiding for so long because of that decision. And I want you to take your power back tonight. And I want you to become the why, the most important factor in your life. And I know as mothers and daughters, sisters and aunties and all the rest of that, we have a tendency to want to take care of everybody else. But let me tell you how I got this 20. I got this 20 by making a decision. and me becoming the why. Just like they said, when you're on an airplane and the plane is going down, and guess what? You have to put the mask over yourself first. You have to save you first before you can save anybody. And you are worthy of it. And when you do that for you, everybody else will benefit from it. It's proof tonight. When I made that decision 20 years ago, it's proof right now that everybody's benefiting. Those that are connected to me, those that are assigned to me, they benefit from the decision that I made to put me first. Become the why tonight. Become the most important thing in your life.
Yes.
Okay? And don't let that desire or that dream go to the graveyard. That graveyard is filled with so many dreams and so many ideas and so many visions that God has given. Do not let that graveyard get what you're supposed to have right now here on this earth during a pandemic. We did this in a pandemic. At the beginning of the pandemic. And that's what I want to applaud all of our co-authors. We pushed through the pandemic and the creation of the book. So I want to celebrate you tonight because as Lord, every last one of you on tonight, you should be so proud of yourself.
Yes.
That say, look yourself in the mirror tonight. I mean, like, get your hair back and do your thing and say, look at here. It was me. I did this.
Yeah.
The help of the Lord. I did this. I wrote this chapter. I wrote this book. I put this together. I came and stepped up on a whole nother level. I did this.
I did that.
Don't let nobody take nothing from you. Don't let that enemy rob you. Don't let him rob you. Don't let him do it.
Mm-hmm.
At all. I'm so proud of him. And I just want to say this. I'm so proud of you, Yvette. I know it's been a challenging year for you as well. And to see how you also are pushing through and living out your dream that has your mom attached to it. So I celebrate you too, sister. I celebrate you.
Thank you.
And I'm thanking God that now you are part of our family. No More Residue. Who else want to be a part of our family? Because we got volume 2 coming. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, we do. Oh, I got some information that, guess what, tonight I'm going to give you some stuff that how you can connect with me and how we can link up and how we can do the daggone thing. This is your season. Don't let the pandemic, don't let the election, don't let the racial riot and all of that stuff that's going. Don't let none of that distract you from your purpose.
No, you can't. You can't let it distract you from your purpose because you'll miss it. You miss your whole purpose.
That's
and
right.
For what? For what? Because you're holding on to things that you refuse to move away from it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand it's a blessing at the end of the day.
That's right. That's right.
Coming all the way through. So tell us.
So I'm going to tell you what you want me to tell them.
How can we purchase No More Residue? How can we even connect with you?
Well, you can connect with me on my website at Crystal with a C, not a K, a C, CRYSTAL, Cunningham, CrystalCunningham.com. You can purchase the book as well if you go into my shop. Go click on the shop. It's available right now for pre-orders. I'm also taking application. I'm going to put it in the link here for some of you that might be interested in joining the second volume 2 for the application for the anthology. Okay, so I'm going to put my calendar in here, which you can have a 15-minute discussion with me, and I'm going to put another link to have the actually application. But I also want to say this. Make sure you join us on January 2nd because we are having a summit. We all going to get together, and now you're going to hear me talk with my ladies. And Yvette's going to be a part of it too.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Seriously, I really need y'all to purchase this book because it's just the fact that all these women is sharing something so deep that they held on to for many years and they buried it.
Yeah.
And you don't even know who you can relate to. It could be so many women that you can relate to, and you be like, man, I did go through that. Let me think about how did that happen? Because it's like we just hide things.
Mm-hmm.
We hide it so well, and we be trying to move forward, but
Mm-hmm.
not knowing we hurting other people along the way too.
Yes. It's time for you to release that. It's time for you to release that. And that's what God wants. He wants you to let it go. Because the word says that there is no condemnation for those that are in Christ Jesus. What is he saying? He's saying there is no guilt for you. What you already did is done. But he already have given us Jesus Christ that paid the price for us. One thing I just want to say this before I do go. When I walked in the room of AA 20 years ago, soon as I walked in and I went to the winner's seat, you'll hear about it in my book, Rise Up and Hope. They said, whatever you did before you walked into this room, it doesn't matter. Whatever you did, then it doesn't matter. Because God is a God of cleansing and making it a makeover. So when you get with No More Residue and with this movement and with me, when I tell you these ladies don't even look the same from when they started with me, I mean, literally, they do not even look the same. They are cleansed and free. As we say in the book, dear new me, cleansed and free. Okay? Cleansed and free, dear new me, because they are all made over.
I know that's right. So tell us a good word for women before you leave.
You didn't get a lot of good word right there.
Uh-uh. Because you could go deeper than that.
What I want to say is extraordinary women, they see beyond their fears, their tears, and their struggles. And they are willing to stand in their power and get their voice back. You are an extraordinary woman. You're not ordinary, you're extraordinary. When you get with God, we get something that nobody else has. A little extra. That's why it's called extraordinary. That's you.
See what I'm saying? That's see? I already knew. Shut it down.
Well, that's what he told me to come do. So you did your thing tonight.
You did this dang old thing.
I give him all credit. I take none of his glory. It's all because of the Lord that I've been able to sit here and do what I'm doing and will continue on doing what I'm doing. I'm not a glory stealer. I don't steal from the Lord. I give him all his glory. It's
Yes.
the Lord because I'm able to do what I'm doing. So don't ever try to take his glory. Acknowledge God, give him the credit. And that's what we do as believers. So other people will want to come and know our God and know who he is and serve him.
Yes.
That's the word. That's the mic drop right there.
Yeah, that's another one. We can do this all night. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you so much for having us. Thank you for supporting No More Residue, having all the ladies on. Just really, I can't thank you enough. And Angela, if it wasn't for Angela, I would have never been able to connect with you. So I thank her also for connecting me with you. So yeah.
Thank you. Okay, well, good night.
All right. Have a good night.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.